That was Stefon Diggs yesterday discussing the Patriots and what does it mean to you to be a first-place team. Says don't drink the Kool-Aid, Keefe.
So here's a term I am familiar with.
I am familiar with this one as well.
Your Uncle Jim Jones murdered like 1,000 people with the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You obviously would know. You're a little too close to that one.
Yeah, it's a dark memory for our family.
Jonestown.
Yeah.
So that that reference I get 100%. I've heard that one a long time. Don't drink the Kool-Aid on the first place Patriots. It is amazing. Like every single thing Steph Diggs has said over the last month, you're just like, yeah, that's spot on.
And like
He even was talking about, he's like, I took a play away from
Pop.
I took a touchdown away from Pop Douglas, where I think most everybody else looked at that and said the refs took a touchdown away from Pop Douglas. Like that was a bad call. It's a dumb call. It's a late call. One of the worst calls when you factor in kind of where it was and then the delay of it. One of the worst calls people have seen. And he's like, yeah, we got to get better. Like I took a touchdown away. It's like my fault. Like he puts the blame on himself for that. And they are 6 games into the season. They're not in the playoffs yet. They certainly haven't won the division yet. And some of that talk kind of feels like that. It's the nature of football where you have a week in between games and you're sort of like living off the highs of the last couple of weeks. But I mean, that's the right approach. That's the right mindset.
Well, and I feel like he's consistently done that, which is, again, I've said this maybe every single week for the last couple of weeks, coming in and hearing Steph Diggs, talk about that upcoming game or recapping the previous game. That's the biggest thing I think to this point I've been wrong about with Diggs. Like he's better on the field than I thought. He was out there. I didn't think he'd be out there week 1, so like his health is better than I thought. I was wrong about all those things. I think the thing I was most wrong about, at least in this honeymoon period that you've talked about a lot, Keith, is he is bought in. You're going to hear more from Vrabel, Diggs about Vrabel and buying in with the coach here. But I kind of thought Diggs was going to be more mercenary, more out for himself. He might wear out his welcome. I mean, that is his history. He did it in Buffalo. He did it in Minnesota. It's debatable if he did it in Houston or not, but they certainly didn't want him back. And look at that receiver room. They could use receivers. So his history is he wears out welcomes. That might still be in the future. But for right now,
live in the now.
The man is bought in.
Yeah.
And the messaging there is great. I took it, not crying about the rest, like all of us, ourselves included, did. The callers have all done.
Yeah.
People were doing live during the game watching it.
I was gonna say, even if he did, people would be like agreeing with him.
Yeah,
but
they
no,
would.
he went even better
But
than
he
that.
said, no,
Yeah.
I took it. It's not the refs. It was me. I took it away from him. And on top of that, guys, let's not drink the Kool-Aid. We're 4-2. There's a long season left, so let's figure it out. And I think that messaging from Diggs has been consistently strong, and I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, because if anybody was going to sort of like be so caught up in one game, it might be him because of the Buffalo game and like what that meant. But it was after the Buffalo game when we played the comments last week where he was like, in many ways, this next game is tougher because going up against the first place team, the measuring stick game, the reigning MVP of the league, like all of that, then you still got to go out and play the rest of the season, and that next week could be a little bit of a letdown because. What really motivates you other than it's just another week in the NFL to play the Saints? Like a 1-win team. You're like, oh, you could easily get kind of caught in that trap. They didn't. And then, all right, so you pass that test, but you're not done. And that's why, like, having some of these veterans, like, they got rid of so many of their previous year's captains and, like, veteran guys. And one of the things Mike Vrabel did was not only did he bring in pretty much his entire own coaching staff, but look at some of these guys that have come in here and the teams that they have been on. I mean, Milton Williams just won a Super Bowl. Harold Landry's been on a bunch of good teams. Steph Diggs has obviously been on a bunch of good teams. He hasn't won it, but he's been on a lot of good teams, and they know what it takes to be good all season long.
Well, and again, not to bring it back to Devers, but like I think the parallel works. Sometimes you have to get the old regime out to let the new leaders come in. And I didn't think Diggs would be one of them. It appears he is, but he's not a captain. Like the new captain's on the team.
Yeah.
They got rid of pretty much every captain on the team from a year ago outside of our guy Hunter Henry.
But even he was like a replacement captain. Like the start of the year captains, I think, are all gone.
So it's not just like those guys can still be on the team and then new leaders come in alongside them. It's like, nope, because guys were on the team last year. They're still listening. No. Get in your guys, have them lead, have them buy in on what Vrabel's selling, some of those ex-Titans players, and that appears to be working. And so you have to get the old leadership out to let the new leadership emerge. And I think some of that is working here. Diggs was asked directly about buying in on Mike Vrabel, his coaching style, his whole program here in year one. in New England. Here's what Diggs had to say about that.
That was impressive.
I don't know how he does it, and you got me to buy it. I tell you that. But I just think that you respect him as a coach. Also, him being a player kind of adds another layer to it. And he practices what he preaches. He's going out there grinding. He's pushing on guys. He's preaching maximum effort, and he shows you that our success is a direct correlation from our practice and how we grind. So when you buy into the process and you see the results, it's like, damn, it does work. So it's easy to kind of go in. If he was going in and doing all these things and we weren't winning, it was probably easy to be like, man, I ain't really jacking that. But things have been going pretty good so far. So buy into the process, do what you're coached, and he makes it pretty natural. Everybody just play their position, do their part.
So I do think this is one of the appealing things about Vrabel.
Yeah.
Was not my number one choice this offseason, wasn't even my number two choice this offseason. We both like Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I like Liam Cohen. If you really sat down and I looked at it again, there are probably other coaches I preferred.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the stuff about Vrabel that I did find appealing.
Duval.
He's off to a good start.
He's off to a good start.
Yeah, he actually is.
But, I don't follow it close enough. Do you think Liam Cohen is getting buy-in, or are they just winning games? I do think there's a difference.
I don't
do
know,
the guys
he's kind of corny, but some of his
do the guys
post-game
really
locker room stuff. I don't know.
do they believe in him?
I don't know. I mean, well, he certainly doesn't have the. That would be tough. But he doesn't have the track record that Vrabel does. But it doesn't mean you can't start from somewhere. But I was even going to ask with Vrabel, there is the chicken or the egg thing there, where they're winning, so they're bought in, or they bought in, so they're winning. What? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
How do you know? They're 4-2. They just beat the Bills.
But I think
But probably prior to that,
the appeal with Vrabel is program building, culture building.
Yeah,
and
he's very pro player. He puts over the players all the time. He gives those guys a ton of credit. I mean, he gave the entire team a game ball last week. He didn't single out Drake May. I know that's sort of a side little topic, but
he did yesterday. Did you hear that? He was oh, why not? It gives us the quickest way to get out of there.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it would have been
May and Booty, right?
May and Booty and Christian Ellis, I think he said.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yep, good friend of the show.
Yeah,
and
best
so
friend.
I think he singled some guys out. This is who I would have given game balls to. He still didn't.
But he's everybody deserved one.
But he said it was a team win, so he gave it out. No, they're all winning.
Mm-hmm.
Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson has a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
Are guys buying in on Ben Johnson? I don't know. So look, it is chicken. It is chicken and egg. Yeah. Are they buying in because they're winning? I think you heard some of that from Diggs. He's like, well, it's going pretty good, so let's buy in.
Yeah.
Or are they winning because of the buy-in? It's a fair debate.
But I think that's also why. I mean, I think Robert Kraft and the familiarity is why he hired Mike Vrabel. But it's why it made sense. So even though you and I and others maybe wanted the offensive guru and sort of see how that worked, that was a little bit more of a lottery ticket. Maybe you get Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, or maybe you don't. Maybe you get Mike McDaniel. Maybe he goes the other way. And Mike McDaniel,
you get Brian Callahan.
Maybe you get Brian Callahan.
Right.
So and the franchise was in such a state that they couldn't afford to do that. The last year of Belichick was awful. The first year of Mayo was awful. So they were we got to at least get back to respectable. So this guy we know can do that. And maybe the ceiling's a little bit higher, way higher floor. A higher floor than Ben Johnson. I would still argue maybe the ceiling's not as high, but
I agree.
But we'll see where it goes.
And I think the shelf life isn't as long. If you get one of these McVay types or these Kevin O'Connell types, I think it's higher ceiling and it's a long shelf life.
Yeah, unless McVay quits to do TV.
But that would be on his terms.
No, they like him. Yeah, right.
I do think guys like Vrabel tend to burn hot. So there's a trade-off with Vrabel. But I think the appealing part of it is you hit the ground running, you start fast. And with the schedule they have this year, I think they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
And, it's chicken and egg. But I do think from listening to guys, it sounds like they're buying in on Vrabel. I'd be curious to look at that closer as to are guys bought in on Mr. Duval there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they bought in on Don Johnson / Ben Johnson in Chicago? Those don't feel like guys who you're buying in on right away.
No, it is funny, though, when you also compare it to last season and just how they might be polar opposites. Literally from game one, where the Patriots lose what we thought was a very winnable game, and you're like, oh, man, this might be more of a grind. And then they snap out of it and they win 4 of their next 5 games, whereas last year they win the first game. They beat Cincinnati. You're like, wait a minute, they just beat Joe Burrow. Maybe they're going to be good. They were not good. They were the worst team. They were the worst team in the league after that moment. And so I don't know. Maybe things are going to be polar opposites, different. And that was the hope once they hired Vrabel that he would have that kind of impact.
Let me give you another one that I would give Vrabel credit for that I was very unsure about how it would go. And if you remember, Keefe, when Terrell Williams was first away from the team, we're like, Vrabel should run the defense.
Right.
I don't want a question mark on defense, especially coming off a very, very, very poor defensive game against Geno Smith and the Raiders. Like, remember, Geno Smith's actually kind of good, and it's not that bad that he carved you up. It's like, no, he sucks.
Please.
He's terrible.
Please.
And I think he's proven that over the course of the season. Zach Kerr as your defensive coordinator and play caller, that's one that Vrabel delegated that I didn't think was going to be the right button to push. I didn't think it was going to work out. And look, I don't love everything I've seen out of the defense. I don't. Last week against the Saints, it felt like they had a little more life than I would have expected going in. They made Rattler look a little better than I thought they would, right down to the first play, or the first drive anyway, where they bombed it to Olave, which I didn't see coming.
Thanks a lot, Kyle Duggar.
But that's one that's worked out.
That was a big chunk of his yard. That one play was a quarter of his yards.
Oh, of Rattler's yards.
Yeah,
I was going to say it was like half of Olave. Sorry, of Rattler's yards. Yeah. But that's one that's worked out. And we haven't really mentioned it at all on this show. Maybe others have. We haven't really mentioned it at all. That's one that Vrabel adapted, pivoted, identified that guy, put him in that spot. And while the defense has been a little underwhelming, we thought it could be top 10-ish. Let's see if they take advantage of that this week against Cam Ward. That's another one where it's like, I can see why guys would buy in. They like Terrell Williams. Vrabel said, no, we're going to this guy. I'm not going to call defense. I'm the head coach. I'm the CEO. Mm-hmm. This guy's getting the delegated job. And that'd be another reason for guys to buy in. They see his decisions working in real time.
Yeah, because that is one of the knocks that you'll hear about some of like those offensive genius guys is like how much command do they have over the entire team, right? Like they're so fixated on offense. And even like Andy Reid would get that sort of knock. And he's had a ton of success, but it's like, you're offensive head coach, you need to find a defensive head coach. Whereas Vrabel looks at it like, no, I'm going to be the team head coach. And even though, really you have two differences. You have one guy who's never been a defensive coordinator. Then you have another guy on the other side who's been an offensive coordinator for 20 years. And then, so it's completely different. But I think that call combined with Christian Gonzalez coming back, that certainly helps. Any new play caller on defense. True. But yeah, that has been a good call so far.
It's funny. Anytime we bring up McVay, there's like
people don't like McVay because
why is that? Are they sensitive?
Because he lost the Super Bowl to Belichick.
Yeah.
No, because they remember that one moment. They don't remember that he won after that, and he's been like a constant winner. So they don't like that.
I think that's a Bill person or maybe a former Bill person these days.
Because Bill beat him in the Super Bowl, so they're like, the guy stinks.
Well, so it could be that. It could also just be like people are threatened, like, McVay.
Are you talking about somebody else being good?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think it's some of that, but it's like text line. You guys talk about McVay like he's got 6 rings. Well, no. I mean,
he has 1 ring.
He got to a Super Bowl with Goff. He then won it with a different quarterback. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. He has even coached 6 full years in the NFL. I'm not sure is he even capable of having 6 rings at this point in time?
This is his 9th year.
Okay, wow. So that's more than I thought.
He just entered his 9th year.
So look, McVay's a good coach. If that upsets you and doesn't make you happy, then I don't know what to tell you. But he's a good coach. 617-779-7937. Real quick, Keefe.
Yes.
We have a Thursday Night Football tonight.
What do we got? What's the matchup?
We mentioned the Steelers a couple of different times.
Oh, it's the Steelers.
The Steelers are currently the number 2 seed in the AFC. So I want to sit down and watch this. Am I crazy to kind of like the quarterback matchup tonight too? I think it's the second.
What year is it?
It's the second oldest quarterback matchup I think in NFL history, if I have that right. Brady Breeze, I think, was the oldest.
I was going to say it had to be a Brady one.
It was.
Okay.
I think Brady Breeze, Brady Rogers probably was on that list at some point in time. But tonight we get Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco.
Oh, my God.
I kind of like it.
2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They each won 1, which is crazy. Yeah, you like that one?
I do. I just want to sit down and see if I haven't given the Steelers enough credit. And
I just
if I need to give them more credit.
Are you going to learn that by watching the Bengals?
Well, the Bengals are horrible defensively, but if they stub their toe against the Bengals, we'll learn something about them in a different way.
Is Vontez Burfict playing in the game?
This
used to be. Remember, this would be a bloodbath.
This was
Steelers.
This was his Super Bowl. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
These guys. This was not like you could. It didn't matter what the record was. Didn't matter who was playing. These were some crazy games. Now less so, but it is a division game. It's in Cincinnati. It's Thursday Night Football.
It's a short week.
Like
it's
add all that
turnaround.
crap.
It's at Cincinnati. I expect the Steelers to win, but
spread's only 4.5.
I want to watch and critique. The Steelers right now are the number 2 seed in the AFC. The Patriots should have beat this team.
They should have.
This game might tell you a little something about your actual ceiling.
Yeah.
In the AFC tonight.
I am excited for one thing,
and you get some old timers out there ready for a primetime game.
One thing you could set your watch to is 4th quarter garbage time Jamar Chase fantasy points. has been consistent. They've been down 30 points. He gets like 100 yards and a score in the fourth, and you're like, yay.
I'm telling you, Flacco's good. Flacco's good for those guys.
He's
good.
I mean, he's good with
for
Jake Browning.
He's good. Well, he did 1 week with Jake Browning.
Yeah, well, that's all he needed.
Not all the other weeks.
No,
with
I
Jake
guess
Browning.
not. No, I know.
No, so I think he's good for that matchup.
All I care about is that Flacco is still the quarterback when the Bengals play the Browns, so he can set the record for being the first quarterback ever to play.
You've been quite hung up on that
in the same matchup for two different teams.
But this is, I mean, right now, and again, you saw this team a couple of weeks ago. They beat the Patriots. Patriots should have beat them. This tells you a lot about the state of the AFC. This team tonight, go watch them. This team tonight right now is the number 2 seed
That's a good point.
in the AFC, knocking on the door of the number 1 seed, which, by the way, is the Indianapolis Colts through 6 weeks.
Also,
that's the state of the conference. So when you say, can the Patriots win the division? Can the Patriots go on a run? What is their ceiling? Sit down and watch the game tonight through that prism. And I think there's a chance we learn something.
If you were a Jets fan, and I hate to put that on you even for a hypothetical, but if you were a Jets fan and you're watching Aaron Rodgers spin it and just have like a good season, like what are you thinking about? Like that would be so maddening because I thought he was done. After last year, you're like, he's washed.
Well, you were in on him last year.
Last year, I was way in on him.
Then the year happened.
Yeah.
And then
he's cooked.
I thought he was going to drag him to a losing season.
He was like the last guy picked. He was like the last starting quarterback picked. Russell Wilson had a job in New York, as short-lived as it was. And now he's got 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. He has over 1,000 yards passing already. His team is 4-1. Like, he's playing well.
No, he is.
It's bizarre.
It's a good quarterback matchup this weekend, Keith. The other one I got my eyes on.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, you got 2 lefties going head to head this weekend.
Ooh, that's rare.
First time in 19 years.
Tua Penis?
Tua Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, there's 3 lefties in the league now. There was a time before Tua there was no lefties, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Tag Ovalia.
So you got Tua and Dylan Gabriel. Last time was Chris Sims and Mike Vick, who was back in the news because John Gannon. Did you see his answer?
I saw Jonathan Gannon's answer. So when did you learn to take a motion out of coaching? When our quarterback went to prison in 2007.
When he went to prison, that's when.
I was like, oh, man.
That's a real answer. That's a real answer is what that is.
That was a walk-off, too.
Yeah.
He said that and walked off. No, there was a long...
The coaches were speechless. The reporters were speechless.
Yeah, reporters were like...
The PR guys like, I guess we're done.
I think we're out of here.
Okay, Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for not making that weird at all. No, there was a stretch there where there were like no lefty quarterbacks, and prior to Tua... It was like 5 years. It was like Vic and Tua, and then there was like Kellen Moore came in spot start and had like a touchdown pass or something.
Lefty QBs and old QBs. What a week. 617-779-7927.
Making a comeback.